classification was Corey Burton of Hill City, and the champion is Brent Redfertig of Wellsville with a 4-3 decision.
What a moment for these young wrestlers. What a moment to stand on the victory stand. It's second only to the moment that they actually win the contest out of here on the mat, Lonnie.
That's what they say. Winning the thrill of victory as soon as it happens is the most exciting, and then receiving the award, even in the Olympics, when they play the national anthem, is the second most thrilling moment. As we move into 119-pound weight classification, we have an interesting matchup here. We have a returning champion for Wichita County High School of Leota. Joe Marquez returns as a champion from last year. He was a 105-pound champion. He's up to the 119-pound weight classification, and also he'll be going against Kevin Cadle of Beloit, who is 16 wins and 4 losses. Joe Marquez comes in at 23-8, making that big change from 105 pounds to the 119-pound class early, but he came to the state tournament ready to wrestle.
Now, these two wrestlers, Lonnie, are more aggressive than we've seen in the other two weights so far, the other three weights, actually. They've moved right in. They want to get a hold of each other and find out what the contest has in store. It is scoreless so far, with 1:35 to go in the second period. And Marquez comes around, but he doesn't have control. He won't get credit for 2 unless he gets control, and he does score 2 right on the edge of the mat. A good move, alert counter move for Joe Marquez of Leota. He has a 2-0 lead over his opponent, Kevin Cadle of Beloit.
Joe Marquez, it looks like he has done the job, and he is a lean, mean machine. He is cut down to the perfect weight for him. And Kevin Cadle looks about the same. That was a beautiful move by Marquez to be able to trap Cadle for a moment, but not long enough to get the predicament for him.
I'll tell you, Lonnie, when you see a wrestler move like Joe Marquez just did just then, you know that he's loose and ready to go. He caught Kevin Cadle in the middle of a move, almost scored back points, but remember, they have to be down for a 2-second count.
Marquez is a junior. He was a sophomore champion last year. Kevin Cadle of Beloit is in his senior season. So Cadle is wanting this championship desperately. It's his last chance to be a champion in high school. 2-0 the score, and that's with 1 minute remaining in the first period. We have an official timeout for a nosebleed, and a good match is ahead of us. This is the most active match that we've seen since the tournament got underway.
And we might point out, Lonnie, when the wrestlers come back to the middle of the mat, that Joe Marquez has a stripe across the front of his uniform. Kevin Cadle has the big name Beloit. A lot of pride goes with the Beloit wrestler from that community and in their school.
And there is a substantially important team aspect to this match, with Beloit going for the trophy race of 2nd and 3rd place, and that is where the real race is between the Atwood Buffaloes, the Hoxie Indians, and of course Beloit is right in the thick of that.
All right, and remember, with 1 minute to go in the first period, Marquez has a 2-0 lead with that first period takedown. Marquez is the wrestler on top. He has a tight waist, has the arm tied up, straddles the leg, keeps all 4 points of the body controlled. And Kevin Cadle tries to sit out. Marquez working now with a 2-on-1. Both arms on the other arm of his opponent. That's called a 2-on-1. And Marquez is in control. He knows he has a 2-point lead, and he's not going to risk his position. Reaches in now with a cross-chest breakdown and drives Kevin Cadle out of bounds. No penalty points, and it's still 2-0, Joe Marquez.
There were a few fans wanting stalling warning called, but at the present time, we have Joe Marquez. He's been on that 2-on-1 ride quite a bit, and that's what the fans are seeing. They want him to change off from that, but he's made enough effort to put Kevin Cadle on his back that no stall warning has been justified to this point in the match.
Kevin Cadle stands up and grabs the head. He's going to try to roll Marquez under with a headlock. We're down to 5 seconds in the first period. Cadle almost scored. He had a good idea, but he really made Marquez worry there for a moment as he grabbed the head and attempted a defensive headlock.
Kevin Cadle on the bottom side with 5 seconds to go in the period.
Marquez, knowing only 5 seconds is left, drops back on the leg, and he'll hang on until the time expires at the end of the first period.
We have a couple of young men out there right now that are going for total exhaustion, doing a very, very good job. And this is the type of match that the people come to state championships for. There's been a lot more movement and action than the 2-0 score indicates.
The beginning now, the second period. Marquez is the bottom wrestler. Cadle hooks up a cradle. He's got the cradle hooked, and Marquez is going to try to dump him. But if Cadle hangs on, Cadle's about to go over the top. And if Marquez hangs on, he can shake him off and get a potentially dangerous situation. Ooh, that was a close one.
Well, they'll stop it to prevent any injuries from occurring here in the state championship matches. 1 minute and 47 seconds to go in the second period. And Joe Marquez on the bottom side. Kevin Cadle of Beloit is on top, riding with the tight waist.
Marquez will have to be careful now. He knows that Cadle uses a cradle in a stand-up situation, and Marquez will have to be careful. He leads. The bottom wrestler leads 2-0. We're in the second period, 1 minute and 30 to go. Cadle reaches in once again. He has that crossface and reaches back, but now he works off on the 2-on-1, but he's fishing for the cradle, and he puts the crossface in like he does right here. He's trying to lock up the other arm around the leg, and he has the cradle locked up, and he's going to turn Joe Marquez. Cadle has Marquez turned, and he'll have him down for a 3 count, a 5-second count, and Cadle will score 3 points on Joe Marquez. Got him locked up in a tight cradle. And Cadle, working from the top side, showed us earlier that he knew how to use the cradle. There are 48 seconds to go in the second period. Can Marquez hang on? The referee indicates that there's 1 inch to go on the far shoulder. The referees are down, both of them, for a close look. And Marquez gets out of the situation, and now he trails in the contest 3-2.
The cradle, one of the most dangerous moves that you can have in wrestling for an outstanding athlete, because the move takes away the bridging ability, and plus it ties up one of the legs, and a properly executed cradle can also take away both legs. One of them that's there to kick can be also grapevine with your free leg for the person putting on the cradle. And it shows you what a difference it can make as Kevin Cadle of Beloit takes a 4-2 lead with 28 seconds to go in the second period. And you know Joe Marquez is going to be ready to fire out of the bottom side this next time.
Okay, now remember, Lonnie, that Marquez should have known that the cradle was coming, because Kevin Cadle tried it once before and missed hooking it up. Marquez should have felt the move coming. He did not. And obviously that's a good move for Cadle. He knows the cradle, and he was able to score. And according to the clock right at the moment, we have a 4-2 count, but we have a momentary conference between Coach Johnny Flores of Leota and the 2 officials on the mat.